I was 5 when someone said, "You're a girl, you can't wear shorts, you've got to wear a dress." I cried, even though I didn't understand it all then. I was 9 when my mother said, "Do I need to buy a hat? I think the wedding's set." She smiled as I stood by. My best friend, a guy. I looked around when I was 12, people talking about who they fancied, liked best. I thought, I need to join in, be like the rest. As we talked, I thought, perhaps I'm feelingless. You see, I actually couldn't have cared any less. Those feelings inside I squished down and compressed. Boyfriend, engagement, house and a wedding dress. I don't know when I started drowning, but the water was filling my lungs, I was gasping for breath. Who am I asked. For I am a stranger, inside my own head. I was 15 when I first went to CAMS. The anxiety rippled through my veins in a way I simply cannot explain. Things were hard for me. Outside of questions around my own sexuality, among low mood and anxiety, sat self-harm and suicidality, and the words spun inside my head. Boyfriend, engagement, house and a wedding dress. I was called into a room and I don't remember an awful lot, but there is one question I still haven't forgot. Do you have a boyfriend? I looked at her blankly. I could have sworn she already knew, that she could already see straight through this pretense. Can't you see I'm drowning? I screamed inside my head. The question held me under and I morphed into solid lead. You see, I'd been playing a character, someone who wasn't me, filled with fear and that pure anxiety. And in those few seconds I thought, perhaps I'd say yes. Maybe I'd carry on playing this fictional character forever instead. I began to convince myself that perhaps I could learn to live with this drowning feeling of dread. Now, if boyfriend had been changed to partner, perhaps my heart would have been lighter. If the question had been open, if there'd been room for discussion, made clear there'd be no repercussion, perhaps the water would have drained. Perhaps I could have explained. I feared all those words and phrases I'd already heard, mixed in with a variety of unkind words. You know them. I don't need to say them. I feared it would change things. So I stayed silent and just shook my head and closed my ears to everything else that was being said. I was 18, still in CAMS. I've been living in this fear that perhaps my worker wouldn't want to come near me again if I told her. The stereotypes had been squashed into my own brain, whitewashed and ashamed, real or imagined. I felt it would change things. This therapeutic relationship we'd established over time, perhaps it would disintegrate into nothing, completely unwind. And I left, age 19, with those words unspoken. Don't get me wrong, CAMS completely changed me, made me, but I had one final battle yet to win. I was yet to be free. At university I fought daily, between being myself and this vision that others had for me. Grow your hair, Leanne, it will look so lovely, and find yourself a nice man. That's the best life plan. Acceptance and rejection. The fight to become myself became a fight with myself. It coursed through my body and burst out through my fingertips. Someone had turned the tap, it started with a single drip. I was 20. University Mental Health Services. He smiled as I walked in and spoke to me softly. Asked me all those questions I'd heard already. But something was different. I saw the flag pinned proudly above his door. Have you? I looked into his eyes as he began his sentence. Have you got a boyfriend? Girlfriend? Seeing anyone? I smiled. Now it wasn't easy ever since I was a child. It had been instilled into me. Boyfriend, engagement, house and a wedding dress. But through his words I began to fight myself less. I found myself standing where I had been drowning. Honestly, I won't judge you. You know that, right? You can tell me anything. It will be alright. And for the first time in my life, I prepared myself to say the words I'd said to myself nearly every day. My name is Leanne and I am gay. It was then that the rest of the water drained away. Perhaps I'd float upwards, for my heart was a feather and together we talked. a single conversation, but I smiled as I walked away, and to this day I remember the feeling, for I felt free. I could finally be myself. Of course, this story doesn't end here, for there has been many other challenges and times I still felt that fear. But to be able to be myself has been better than anything else. And these scars I carry remind me of my fight. When people tell me I'm not doing my life quite right, and I speak because I fought so long to find my voice, and I speak for those that don't have a choice.